In our possession is the QuickJack 7000 TL. We recently got it from Costco, Canada, and that's how we could work on the Corvette out there. Corvette right there. We got a few other cars in the back, but we gotta get this thing assembled, so let's assemble it. Alice and I are gonna go through all the instructions, all the steps, and first all the tools so you know exactly what to do if you buy this lift or a similar one like it. First, let's go over all the equipment that we're going to be using, all the stuff that comes with it, what you'll need. First thing are these two jacks right there. One for each side. They look similar, but they're not interchangeable. The way you know you have a left and a right is this part right here, which is the actual lock for the frame. This needs to go on the outside. So this is on our outside. You can see it's not visible on this side because it's on the other side. These two frame positioning parts, I found them not to be very useful because of how they are, but we'll go into that later. 4 tall blocks, 4 short blocks. I'll put the measurement of each block on the screen right now, and you're gonna get a box, and it should have this, and this is thread sealant. And then you get these two pieces. These fittings are the first thing that come out of here. So you need this 90-degree angle to connect these hoses. Now there's 2 here, because they go on each side. One for this one for this one. And then these are going to quick disconnect to these, and that way you can store it easily without having to have super long cables. These are the long cables. And then these quick disconnects are then going to go to the pump. And this guy is going to be your power. You can use 120 or 240, I think. And then you have your controller right there. And that's pretty much it for all the stuff that it comes with. Let's go over the stuff that you'll need. Definitely going to need an air pump, and that is to put air into those canisters right there. This long one, the big one, that's going to be where the hydraulic fluid will be. Or we use Valvoline automatic transmission fluid. You can totally use this, and you'll need at least 3 quarts. We just got 4 to have any on hand in case we need to fill some leaking. You're also going to need wrenches. And that's pretty much it. So let's start assembly. Step 1, after you've laid these out, is to get that 6mm hex tool. And the QuickJacks, they might come with this plug from the factory that you need to remove. If you notice, all of them have plugs, and that's a really big thing. You don't want dust getting anywhere onto these components. Once you remove that, go ahead and grab one of the fittings. You're gonna wanna pay attention to the side that has the O-ring. So this part right here is gonna go into this part right here. You're going to want to lay it both flat and angled up a little bit. So when you put it in, it's easily accessible, but you don't want it too far up, otherwise it's gonna impact the bottom of the vehicle. You're also gonna want a little bit of the thread sealant. You don't wanna apply it on the threads here. All you're gonna want to do is put it on the O-ring for this. So basically just give it a little squeeze and go around the whole bottom part. Doing this is more to lubricate the O-ring so that when you press it together against the metals, it doesn't crack. You're just lubricating the O-ring a little bit. Go ahead, line it up, and then start screwing it in. From there, make sure it is a little bit angled. I'm not gonna be able to twist it much. I don't think I'll be able to go another turn. That's totally fine. They have a solution for this. So let's twist it back like how we have it here. So not flat, a little bit of an angle up. And then there's this nut right here, which we can twist downwards to get it to make that good connection. So first, we're just going to hand tighten it. So spin it down. Once you can't go anymore, you can get your wrench. I'm just going a few times until I can't go anymore, making sure not to force it too hard. You're gonna make sure that's done on both sides, and once you do that, you're good to go. Now, these hoses are the ones that you're gonna connect to the QuickJacks, and then they're gonna go to the quick disconnects. So if yours doesn't come with a quick disconnect like this one, you're gonna have to put it on. Make sure you use the thread sealant. If you look at ours, it has a little bit of thread sealant on it already right there, and it's actually a lot more prominent on this one right here. Okay, at least I thought it was, but oh, I mean, you can still see it. It's that little brownish stuff right there. We don't have to apply it, but if you do, go ahead and just put it on the threads and then screw this on and then tighten it like one turn after you hand tighten it. You don't want to break the threads, so you don't want to screw these too hard. And then you can come onto the other side, and this side right here, you can see the differences between the sides. This one has this part at the top, and this one, well, it doesn't. So this one is going to be the one that's going into the QuickJacks itself. If the other ones have this little red part on it, all it is a screw. It has some knurling on it, so you can use your fingers and just unscrew it. This is just to make sure no contaminants get into the lines during shipping. Once you have this piece and you have your thread lubricant, you have this piece. You're going to want to put the thread lubricant on the piece that's on the QuickJack, so that one right there. Be careful not to put any too far at the front. You don't want it going in the lines. So start from, I'd say, like around here, and then just put it all along here. You should be good. You don't have to cover the whole thing, because when you tighten it, it's going to spread it around. And since you're pushing it down, you don't have to worry about it getting in the lines. Once it's all the way tight, you're going to want to take whatever wrench you have and then go ahead and repeat that on the other side. So Alice just went ahead and here, hand tightened it. We'll do the same, just putting it on the edge and then twisting it. And before you do any kind of lifting or anything, you're definitely gonna want to have these dry for at least 24 hours. This is a great time to go ahead and check this part right here. You want to make sure it's below these rails. That way it doesn't have any chance of contacting your vehicle. So if you take your eye and you take your hand and you come below here, you can easily see that this one is totally fine. We already checked the other one, so we're good. Make sure you check yours as well. You want it underneath here. Girlfriend had a great idea. You could also just use a wrench. That's a great test. The next step is to grab the lines, and you're gonna want to have it go underneath the QuickJacks. So you don't want it in between any pinch points or anywhere that it's going to be between the QuickJack and the vehicle. And we're just going to fish it underneath here. And then you can have it come out on this side. And so now you have both lines down here. The next step is QuickJacks and quick disconnects. So you're going to get the longer cable, comes with 2 of these, so you're going to need 1 for each side. When the quick disconnects are on, it's gonna look like this. Make sure you always have these caps on the end so that no dirt gets into the line when you're not using it, so when they're apart. And then it's just going to snake along here. This one is going to go into the actual pump, but we'll do that in a second. Let's go ahead and connect this line right now. This is the line coming out of the QuickJack, and then this is the long one. It doesn't matter which end you use, just make sure you go ahead and take off the green cap here and then the green cap here. You're gonna have to use a little bit of force to put these 2 together just because you don't want any leaks. So it's actually nice that it takes a little bit to put it together. It's very confidence inspiring. Once you have both ends, marry them together, kind of like you're plugging in a giant electrical cord. And it does require a little bit of force. So I'll just like put it between my legs. You'll probably hear it snap into place. It's a very not satisfying snap, but it snapped into place. It's held together. One thing to note, there is this ball right here. So this ball is very important. If it's in this position where you have the little hole and then the ball, that's how you can pull it down and pull it out. You should probably hold both ends when you do that. If you want to prevent it from disconnecting though, once you put it together, just go ahead and twist this away. So that slot is away from the ball. You twist it like this, and there's no chance of this coming disconnected. And you can either leave it like this when you store it. If you have a lot of space, just leave it out. Or if you want, you can move it over here, pull it down, and then they'll come apart and you have the caps you can put back on. Looking down at the QuickJacks, you're going to have these smaller canisters. I already removed this piece. It just screws and unscrews on to the end right there. And that's where you're gonna want to fill it up with some air. And it actually has a pressure release nub at the very end. And you're gonna want to release a little bit of pressure just to make sure there's some in there and to relieve any oil. So you're gonna want to slowly push it down until you hear a little bit of a hiss. Like that. You bleed some out, that way we can put fresh new air in. And then we're gonna wanna make sure we do that on both sides. Looks like there's no oil in that one, but there definitely was some on here. That's what that splatter was. You wanna make sure all that is out. Next, you're gonna want to grab your tire inflator and screw it in to one of these. We want to air these between 40 and 50 PSI. 45 is a good number, but never over 50 PSI. Let's go ahead and start it. that process should be pretty quick. It's a small air container, and then you're just gonna want to unscrew this and then go ahead and put this cap on, and then feel free to do the other side. Our next step is focusing on the hydraulic pump. We need to open it up so that we can fill it with our automatic transmission fluid. If yours comes without these caps installed, you're gonna want to put the caps on. And this is for the quick releases. These are gonna connect with these. So, you know, just be aware of that. If you need to put those on, go ahead and put those on. Just how we put on the other ones, like over there, you're just screwing it in. You can follow the instructions listed here. It says do not tape. You might want to lubricate the O-ring a little bit, but other than that, don't use too much lubricant. O-ring fittings benefit from 1 to 2 drops of lubricant, but again, don't over lubricate it. Now, back to this guy. We're just going to undo this top part. It's not tightened on very tightly. You can use a wrench and loosen it a little bit and then go ahead and hand pull it off. And now we can get a clean funnel. Very important that it's clean. You don't want any contaminants to get inside of your system. We're actually going to use a measuring cup. Our funnel that we got is slightly too big for this hole. So just be aware that you might have to get a small size funnel for this hole. 9.5 cups later, this thing is pretty full. So if you come take a look at it, the liquid is now pretty much at the top. We used, again, 9.5 cups. Keep all this equipment handy. Make sure you close this guy. Keep it all handy though, seriously, because we might have to put some more in when we bleed the lines for air, because you know there's air in these hoses right now. When we raise it, lower it, bleed the entire system, that's when we'll get all the air out. Might need to fill this up a little bit more. Some hydraulic fluid might get out. Just keep all this handy. Don't put any of it away yet. The next step is going to be bleeding the lines. Connect all the quick fittings together. Keep in mind that you're gonna want to move these around so it's not on that ball joint. Remember, that's how these pop out. That's how these sides pop out. Now that your lines are fitted together, grab the end, the power source, and we're gonna plug it in to give it some power. Now you need to lift up both jacks. You'll have this bleeder screw at the very top so air can escape. Air is gonna escape, but it needs to go up. So we're basically just helping it up. We're positioning them this way so all the air escapes, and then all of it will be full of the hydraulic fluid when we want to pump it up. This is probably gonna require 2 people, and that's why girlfriend's gonna come over and help us. I'm going to lift up the jack, and then she's gonna come and put these blocks underneath it. You don't need to do this every time, just the first time to make sure all the air is out of the system. With the jacks up high like this, everything connected, it's time to just raise them slightly and lower them. Be careful though. You don't want to raise them past the first locking point with no weight on it. Girlfriend, moment of truth, huh?
Is it supposed to go up?
Oh. Oh. Oh! We have jacks!
Go.
You gotta make sure it doesn't go past the first locking point. Now, it's okay if they rise a little bit slower, one more than the other, or if they don't rise very evenly, that's totally fine. You're just gonna wanna go up and down about 3 times and then just leave it up. Just leave it at the highest point. Remember, not past the first locking point, but at the highest point between the first locking point and the end or the bottom. That way you made sure you have no leaks, because when it's all the way up like this and it's not on the locking point, that means the only thing supporting it is the hydraulic fluid. So this is doing 2 things. 1, it's testing for leaks, which is very important. 2, it's making sure all the air gets pushed to the bottom of the QuickJack so that when you lower it, you bleed some of the air out, the air will come out, and all you're left with is hydraulic fluid in there. It's also very important you do this because you might have a leak, and this is the best way to find that leak. That's how we found our leak. Oh, look, there's a little bit coming out of here. That's not good. We need to tighten that a little bit more. That's how that was leaking down here. And you can only see that if you do these checks. All right, so this is a fresh, bright yellow towel, and I'm gonna put it underneath here. If this towel has any automatic transmission fluid on it, we know it's a leak. So we already know that this one is not leaking. This one looks good. let's go back onto this one. I see no red. Remember, it was dripping all down here. That's all the automatic transmission fluid. And yeah, we got no more leaking from here. So now that we don't think it's leaking, what we're going to do is just go up and down 3 times with this. That way we can, you know, run fluid through the system again, make sure it's really not leaking, because if it is, that's a problem we're gonna want to address. And if it is, probably just need to tighten it. The sun's setting, it's getting a little bit darker because of that leak we had earlier. We've just been kind of letting them sit in this position. Now, let's go ahead and check this thing. This is our fluid reservoir, and even if it didn't leak, it's important to check it. We've been letting it sit for a while, and I can see that the liquid is much farther down than previously when we topped it off. So we're gonna top it off a little bit more. So if we check back at it, you'll see it's at a higher level now, and I'm satisfied with that. That was another 2 cups, so we went from 9.5 cups to 11.5 cups, almost 12 cups. The next step is going to be to bleed this in the down position. Lower both of them, we're gonna go one at a time. Definitely use safety glasses because this is under pressure. Definitely use a microfiber towel because you probably will actually have some fluid leaking out. And that's normal if it does, because that just comes with bleeding the air. So the microfiber towel is just to catch it. We want to get all the air out. And to do that, it's gonna push some of that automatic transmission fluid out. You might have to go a few turns before it releases. I hear the air coming out and I see fluid bleeding out. So let's go ahead and seal that back up. Double checking, we got some more fluid coming out. So let's go ahead and raise these lower, and see if they're a little bit better. We've continuously talked about the locking points, but let's show you what these are. So coming on to the side of the lift, you're going to look down here. This whole part really belongs to this piece, and this is your safety lock. So when you raise this up all the way, you don't want the whole weight of the car just to be supported with this hydraulic pump. What if the pump fails, the lines break, something like that happens? So you need to put this behind one of these posts. You can see one right here where my finger is. So the metal puck is gonna sit behind it. And that puck I'm talking to you about is this guy. So as you lift it up, this is going to slide back, and then it will get behind this piece right here, locking it into place. That's the highest point, and the lowest point is going to be this one right here. So you have this one, and then you have this one. So 2 different locking points, and remember, this just slides back as you lift this up, and this is what's holding up the whole weight of your car. After bringing the Tesla in, we noticed a slight issue. That issue was that we couldn't fit the QuickJacks underneath the car. Well, we kinda could, but we couldn't, especially because the Tesla uses pucks, like the Corvettes, but watch. One thing I don't like is how you kinda have to like slide this along the ground to move it. You know what I mean? It's like kinda hitting the puck. Oh gosh. Oh, this totally looks like it's gonna fit. Go over and push me. You can, of course you went there. What is this black? What is this black going on? Wow. So we don't have pucks for the Corvette. We actually just got it after doing all of this later in the day. Now, the pucks with the rubber blocks that the QuickJacks come with don't allow it to have any clearance either. So we will need our ramp solution for that too. So we bought 4 ramps just off of Amazon. They'll be in the description below the like button, and that's how we're going to push up all the cars to give it enough clearance for it to go underneath. I guess we have low cars. I didn't think the Tesla was that low, but I guess it's that low. Are you ready? Okay. Okay, that looks good. We just have to make sure it's making contact with the pads. So the first thing you want to do is lift it up slightly until it makes slight contact with the car. That way you know you're touching your jack points perfectly. And once you've gone ahead and checked all 4 points, then you can go ahead and lift the car. Hold on, still checking. Okay, let's go, right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
No strings.
No strings. So it's in the air, and right now it's just being supported by the hydraulics. Take a look, guys. It's in the air. And you can see it is just the hydraulics because the locking latches have not engaged yet. Let's go up a little bit more. And that's the latch engaging. So to fully put it on the latch and not have it be supported by the hydraulics anymore, which is what you want when you're working on the car, do not trust the hydraulics, trust the steel latches. Just pull it down and hold it down for about 10 seconds. You saw it lower a little bit, and now it's on the full support of these. You're not being supported by the hydraulics anymore, which is again, what you want when you want to work on this car. Let's go ahead and raise it up all the way though. So to do that, we'll just push up. Keep going. You can see Hajabu chilling up top there. And let's look at this bottom part right here. So it's gonna engage on this next locking point. And to fully engage it on the lock, just press it down and it's gonna go down just a little bit. There you go, hold it a little bit, let it go, and your car is fully in the air. Girlfriend! Look at that! Oh my God, we can go underneath the whole car now.
I know eventually we'll have to trust it, but.
Now we need to lower the QuickJack. So girlfriend is going to show us how to do it. It's on these locking points. These aren't just gonna go down because they're locked into place. You don't want these to go down. As a matter of fact, before we get under the car, we should always check and make sure that these are locked. To unlock these and bring the whole lift down, pull it up a little bit, and then we're gonna release these and then we'll pull it down. So girlfriend, go ahead and just move it up. So pressing, holding up. Okay, so that's at its maximum. So from here, we are just going to lift this up and we're gonna make sure that this little puck part is on the smooth edge, not at the angled part, because if it's angled, that means it's locked into place. So same on this side right here, we're just going to pull it up and then just set it down. Now we can go ahead and lower the car. Go ahead and press and hold the down and we'll see it come down. And it just went over that first locking point. Let's put it all the way down, just keep going down. That's it. We were so hyped about this. It has been so long since we've been able to complete this project, but now it's complete. I think this is one of my favorite things in the garage. Hajabu loves it. Girlfriend loves it. Oh, Mosley. Mosley was here watching us. Oh, there he is. Mosley, do you like it? I think he likes it. We love it. And if you do too, remember, subscribe so you can see more of what we do to all our 4 cars and maybe more coming with this lift.